Why, hello and good luck, Buck7. Let's see, you're playing first. I'm on the draw, and one spell gets me a Windrake and a Dramatic Rescue. Or one land gets me a Windrake and a Dramatic Rescue. Yeah, I like to be risky and keep this hand, but I think it's going to be a little bit better to mull down and have a more solid keep. So we're going to mull this. Oh, God, it's so tough. I mean, Dramatic Rescue helps me get there a little bit quicker, or help me stay alive a little bit if I need to. But yeah, we're going to be drawing a lot of lands, and we don't even have a splash. So yeah, we'll mull. And I was right. I mean, we have 3 now, and even though we have our big old 6-drop, but we're more likely to get somewhere when needed. Ooh. How fast is our opponent in red? At least we have some cool 4-drops. Is this the Boros deck? Is this the guy who is taking all my Boros cards? I will go ahead and play Renounce the Guilds pretty much against any multicolor spell that's out now because I'm planning on getting Skymark Rock down soon. That's not one, so that's okay. And I am fine with that. Hey, a little late to the party there. But we'll play you anyway, Mr. Boros Mastiff. And we will trade, in fact. Attackies? I'm assuming not, but let's see how aggressive my opponent is. Yeah. So that works for me. And my opponent has a whole smack ton of mana up. Do I want to attack with Boros Mastiff? I mean, I'm offering the trade. I get a sweet, 2 points of damage in. Yeah, I want to start getting aggressive. I have my Millennial Gargoyle for backup. Alright, offers a trade, and I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with a combat trick if my opponent wants to go that route. Arrows of Justice? Yes, please use Arrows of Justice on my Boros Mastiff. I am super okay with that. And then we'll go ahead and just run out the Millennial Gargoyle. That's in the event there is, again, a multicolored creature that comes down. Also, I'm actually not opposed to trading these guys. My rock does take care of the Selesnya Sentry, but I think just having enough flyers out means I'm fine trading off and playing this attrition game. That's not a big deal. Perfectly cool with that. So does my opponent have a multicolor spell that's super big and awesome that I'm going to kill right now? No, Steeple Rock. Very glad I traded off my Selesnya Sentry at this point. Luckily, Skymark Rock takes care of Steeple Rock. However, I'm considering playing Windrake first, just because I do want Renounce the Guilds to come down pretty powerful here, and I'm not too worried about the Steeple Rock sticking around. So yeah, we're going to play Windrake and wait and see if my opponent has a multicolored spell, just so that my Steeple Rock doesn't end up being some sort of a block against my Renounce the Guilds. We can take 3. That's not a big deal. Okay. No blocks. Do you have anything? Snare Squad. Ooh, that's going to be kind of a bummer, actually. It's going to... I guess this is race galore at this point. So... Yep, we attack, and then we start bouncing our dude. Alright, cool. That's the game plan. I'm hoping the Sapphire Drake will sort of help the race in the near future. Another arrows? That would be crazy. Arrows of Justice. There's also Avenging Arrow once damage has been dealt. Okay. 2 down. And Renounce the Guilds is a dead card in hand. Again, normally I think you can craft a board state where Renounce the Guilds is good. We just didn't see any multicolored permanents from my opponent. Hopefully our Skymark Rock does not eat a removal spell, but that's what happens when you play super sweet cards. Attack us! La! You're gonna tap me down. Would you even do it for value here? I wouldn't. I mean, you're actually praying that I block as a mistake, right? Yeah, see? There you go. Okay. So my opponent has a lot of mana, a lot of cards in hand, so definitely a little worried. Mayhaps my opponent has a third color, such as myself, that he or she stuck on Precinct. Ooh. Doorkeeper's going to be important here. Question is, how do I want this race to play out? I mean, my Steeple Rock can pretty regularly be killing the white soldier tokens each turn. So if I attack this turn, we're doing 5 in the air each turn. We're going to bounce the Steeple Rock next turn. But that means when he plays it and has a token here, I'm not able to bounce it yet. But because I can deal with it with Steeple Rock, I think I'd rather make my opponent use up more mana by bouncing the Steeple Rock. We'll attack in for 5. We'll play our Doorkeeper and keep Renounce the Guilds up in case something wonky goes down. Yeah, I'm down to be aggressive with the Windrake. Alternatively, I could just be attacking for 3 a turn. And if that happens, then I will have blocks up with my Doorkeeper and my Windrake. But I think for now, we want to just win the race. Especially having, with toughness. Especially having Windrake coming soon after, once we draw any of our, any land. We can really start winning the race in some way. After that, we play Doorkeeper. So we're going to take 3 here, go down to 10. Our opponent's going to have another dude. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 damage. Oh, hello. I wish I had another multicolored permanent. I do need to decide, how do I win this game? 4, 5, 6, 7 damage means I'm gonna die fairly quickly. If I renounce the guild here, I lose my Skymark Rock. I mean, that's just a horrible play, so we're not doing that. So yeah, we're just taking damage. Not too sure what happened. I thought my opponent was tapping down the Doorkeeper. If you do tap target creature on this attack targeting. Did my opponent not use the ability? Oh, sometimes that happens where you target it, you've paid it, but then you click cancel by accident. That happened to me on a draft. Oh, or my opponent is tricking me. So hold on, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, luckily I do have renounced the guilds. Not that it's awesome, but it does keep me alive. Not happy about that, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do, stay alive. Blockers. Oh, I still have my... See, and that was just stupid. I still could have blocked my doorkeeper and then kept my dude. But alas, I was not being smart. Even I was caught up in the lack of tapping of my guy. So if that had happened, I would have taken... Maybe that was the best deal. Hey, so that's pretty cool, because we can do... If we draw a land, we can play our Fire Main Avenger. That's pretty alright. I think it's the first thing we do no matter what. Draw land. That's not a land. Hey, at least we have another blocker, right? Right, guys? Am I right? But we'll have Fire Main Avenger next turn. That does mean we want to try to keep our flyers alive each turn. So, we play our guy here. We shall F6. Since I'm hoping Fire Main Avenger gets me the win, so 1, 2, 3, I get 4 damage next turn. Yeah, we are attacking with our Windrake, because I think the way we win is trying to stay alive long enough to, Actually, you know what, that might have been wrong, because the Windrake, yeah. So I should have kept the Windrake back, because my Windrake could block either or of these guys. And now I'm taking extra damage what I didn't need to. So that extra 2 points of damage can be very relevant in the near future. We are not blocking. And our opponent will have a Steeple Rock down, and then it swing back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage next turn. Alright, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alrighty, so we are going to play... Or is it Gilgate? We are going to play our Fire Main Avenger. Real question is, are we attacking with anything? That's a mighty negative. So, nope. 1, 2. It may not be right to be showing my opponent all this, but I think we can try to kind of get there. 3. Nah, I mean, we got to make it so that we don't lose. If we can attack him with our flyers next turn, we just maybe can pull out of this, assuming my opponent draws absolutely nothing. But we do have a Fire Drake coming on next turn, so we need to make sure blocks are correct right now. Tap down Doorkeeper. If my opponent has a pump or a mill spell or something, I think we lose no matter what. So I think we take 3 here, but if we do that, can I somehow get a Battalion trigger? Battalion is what I need next turn, basically. And that means I have to lose my Judge's Familiar one way or another, because I don't want to block Steeple Rock as a first strike, so that's just gone. So we block the Precinct Captain here. It's the only thing that can block it. We eat the respective other guys, and that just takes us down to 4. I mean, that's all we can do. We can't play around anything else. Oh, there we go. Looks like we're dead. Yeah, that's it. That is the game. I remember the misplay of attacking with the Windrake. I don't know if there's other things I could have done to try to stay alive that much longer. Let's see. What is good against our opponent? Unflinching Courage, but Unflinching Courage is good against every opponent. We only ever saw that Fist Blade for our Renounce the Guilds, right? So that wasn't too sweet. If I wanted to, I can maybe take out Renounce the Guilds and a Mountain, bring in our Stomping Ground and Unflinching Courage. That gives us two sources, the Prism and the Stomping Grounds, to have Unflinching Courage. But I don't think that's correct. I also don't think it was necessarily correct to play Renounce the Guilds when I did, by the way, getting rid of my Sky Knight. For some reason, I was caught up on the Snare Squad also not tapping. I think I should have just taken a bunch of damage, blocked, and kept my Sky Knight up, because that Sky Knight would have been pretty sweet on that race. I am just going to assume that there's going to be better Renounce the Guild targets. It's obviously not awesome since my opponent has seen it. But you know what? Here's the deal. I don't think Stomping Ground greatly reduces my ability to cast my red drops, especially because I can pay 2 life if I need to. And if I can get these guys down on time with the 2, I think it's just fine. And I think Unflinching Courage has a bigger upside. I think this will be dead in my hand less than Renounce the Guilds will be when you consider the fact that my opponent knows about it and I have, you know, some pretty decent multicolored cards that I don't want to be getting rid of. I mean, Dirge's Familiar or Deputy Krills I don't mind sacrificing, but against the First Blade, like, who cares? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think we're going to give this a try. This could be pretty sweet. Definitely want to play first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're totally keeping this hand. We have a 2-drop and a sweet 4-drop. So no, I do not want to mull this time. Pay 2 life? No thanks. We'll play our Doorkeeper, gum some grounds up, get a Firemane Avenger on turn 4, and then Soulsworn Spirit, detain all of that fun stuff. I love it. Fun, fun, fun stuff. Defense. Deploy. Now we just draw a 3-drop. I'm set. It is a bummer. Maybe I should have played the Plains before Storm Grounds and whatnot, considering if I do draw my Sunspire Griffin. Well, I don't have the second. I don't have the other source yet anyway, so I guess we're okay. Firemane Avenger could eat the arrows at some point, unfortunately. We'll be milling for value here. Yeah, I don't want you to have that, so I'm perfectly cool with that. And I think we do just run out our Avenger right away. Is that correct? No, you know, I'm not under pressure, and that Avenger can just win the game. And having Gargoyles out to trade something is perfectly fine with me. Or again, eat the removal spell that it's going to be represented by. And we'll easily block here because once First Strike starts going down, there's not much happening. Martial Glory? Okay, again, happy to start having things missed. It's kind of a bummer that it's a 2-for-1, but such is life. We didn't see Martial Glory before, and now the Boros deck is going to start humming. Luckily, we have a pretty good answer to it, which I think we're going to play right now. It means we're taking 3, but that's if my opponent wants to throw away some random card. I mean, we could take 6 in the turn if my opponent doesn't have a removal spell here, but like I said, we're fine just eating cards here. And my opponent starts using the removals on the Elocutors and other stuff. That's great because it keeps our Firemane Avenger alive as we move forward. Griffin, okay. So my opponent probably doesn't attack here. Oh my gosh, I have a filibuster counter. I'm trying to decide if I play my Avenger now or the Soulsworn Spirit first. I think we get the Soulsworn Spirit online, because I think Avenger, again, is just that much better, and I want to draw out removal spells. So we're going to go ahead and... well, let's enaction Injunction first. Because I might want the other dude. Other dude being whatever I draw with my inaction injunction, because I'm happy just to draw a card here and keep the assault off. And yeah, we just drew a crosstown courier we do not care about. We'll go and play Soulsworn Spirit. And we will go ahead and detain the Skyjack. That's perfectly fine. And we're just going to try to keep the ground guys at bay, and then hopefully get a Firemane Avenger on board soon. Corehouse Chainwalker, okay. And Boros Mastiff. Alright, so we're kind of losing the race, but we get to also drop our hand. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty clutch right now. I think it is time to get the Firemane Avenger online, as well as a Crosstown Courier, which will just, trade with the Walker or the Boros Mastiff or something if my opponent wants to be attacking in. And we can take a lot of damage right now. Alternatively, we could play the Griffin and the Courier, again, protecting our Firemane Avenger. Which I do kind of like. The thing is, the Griffin just trades only eats the Boros Mastiff. There's enough attacks coming down. I think it is time that we have to pull the trigger on this Avenger. It also maximizes our mana. It's just, it is cool that we have our Griffin as the next play as well. Cool. There we go. I am going to attack with Soulsworn Spirit because I'm not trading it off, so there you go. And First Blood is called. We're not blocking with our Firemane Avenger. And we may or may not be blocking with a Crosstown Courier. I kind of want to keep it alive just for the Battalion trigger, because my opponent could still have arrows against something. I was hoping it would just hold it off, but alas, that is not the case. So I need to be careful of Dynacharge here, because that does kill me. So we will go ahead and play Selesnya, or play against the Selesnya Sentry, because First Strike could just get wonky. The Flyers, 5, 10, 15, 20. I have to block Corehouse Chainwalker with the Crosstown Courier, which I'm not stoked for, but I think it's the correct play against, we've seen Dynacharge before, and I don't really mind trading it off. That is definitely a huge attack step, but we're attacking with everyone next turn as well, and we'll at least get a trigger off for Firemane Avenger, and then we'll have a Griffin back as well. Sorry, that was waiting on me, I guess. Alright. And a Windring. So it's cool that we have 2 plays after this, and we're attacking with everyone for our Firemane Avenger trigger. And we're just going to go ahead and knock out the Assault Griffin, gain some life. Yay, no arrows! I'm super stoked about that, of course. And we are dumping our hand here. This is a race. I'm not worried about some random board wipe. And since we are playing around Dynacharge and whatnot, we'll just block the Boros Mastiff, and the Daring Skyjack will lose our Windrake, but that is okay. If my opponent wants to do another 2-for-1 or something like that, I'm okay with it. I just want to stay at high enough life total where I don't die to Dynacharge. Because the Firemane Avenger should be doing plenty of things for us. Opponent gained a bunch of life, but we're going to start killing a bunch more of our opponent's creatures. And hey, we even have a nice little blocker backup. We're going to kill the Halberdiers. And then try to play quickly, since I am low on time, and hopefully this will get us to game 3. And I am happy to block with my Leyline Phantom, since I'm just getting it returned to my hand anyway. There's an argument just so that I can, have more powers next turn, but I don't think that matters right now. Is that game? Could be arrows still. Yep, there's arrows. That happens, but so does my ability, which puts my opponent there and dead next turn anyway. There we go. And then we'll just go ahead and play this guy out again. And then hopefully that will get us. There we go. So there's definitely enough time to win the next game, but I do want to be conscientious of time. We did see a little bit with the Woljik Halberdiers, a little bit more from our opponent about making this, what's it called? Renounce the Guilds, a possible play again. But I still think I like the unflinching courage against my opponent here. The main thing I have to be careful is my opponent is playing aggressive Boros on the play, and has some, with Dynacharge and the Scorch Walker and stuff, can really kill me out of the blue. But I think it's also where unflinching courage shines, because the life gain is going to be pretty strong. So I'm going to keep it. I still didn't see a super powerful multicolored permanent, so we're going to stay there. And try to get this. 1, 2, 3 lands. All the colors. Yeah, we're going to keep it. We have a 2-drop in Crosstown Courier, and next land gets us Helix and our Firemane Avenger again, so we're okay. Don't want to mole. Crosstown's probably just going to trade for whatever 2 or 3 drop our opponent has. Ooh, that's going to help us stay alive. No thanks. We'll play Crosstown Courier next turn. Inaction Injunction after that as needed. What's your 2? Halberdiers? Yep, I'll trade Crosstown Courier that way. Super happy to trade that. Then we'll play a Plains and Doorkeeper, get our defenses going, and hopefully have drawn our 4th land by that point. Yep, let's trade. Tradesies, pleasies. That's it from you? Okay. Doorkeeper away. Our opponent's stuck on 2 lands and doesn't have mountains yet, so that will very much help us. Does that mean I want to play my Firemane Avenger? Yeah. If we can, I mean, again, Arrows gets it, but Arrows is going to get it, and luckily we have a Helix and other great big cards for later as needed. Precinct Captain, not caring about at the moment, though we could just an Action Junction. I'm happy to save that for later. Getting our free flyer attack right now. Since our opponent missed land drop again, we're going to get another flyer on board, use our Doorkeeper to stop the Precinct Captain, and try to put as much pressure in the air on our opponent as possible. Free attack, free block. You can use any spell you want to get rid of my Doorkeeper. I am cool with that. My opponent does have red now, so can maybe start playing some things, but hopefully we got enough of a board state started to where we can start getting there. Ooh, and a Skymark Rock, which is pretty sweet. If I had a 2-drop, I would play an Action Junction and something else, but I'm perfectly fine playing Skymark Rock, taking 5 damage next turn, but our opponent's taking 5, and just blocking with Doorkeeper again, and then seeing what happens. So we'll do that. F6, attack with our flyers, and call that a turn cycle. Blocking Doorkeeper to Precinct Captain, taking 5. But next turn we have a whole lot of nastiness in our attacks. And we are just going to go ahead and take 5 no matter what. Alright. Alright. We'll play our gate. I'm going to start playing an Action Injunction, but I think I just want to keep War Leader's Helix up and kill something this turn. Our Fire Main Avenger is going to take out probably the Scorchwalker, because we don't want to bounce that, and then get rid of, and then we're also going to bounce the Precinct Captain. And yeah, we'll just keep War Leader's Helix up. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Who's being bounced? You're being bounced, and you're being killed. Actually, I didn't realize this was a dead on board state, because my opponent was tapped out. So there you go. Overthought that guy through, but we had it in hand. Cool. Yeah, I liked our opponent's deck. Super aggressive Boros, which is really fun. But if you don't get that start, and our opponent just got screwed on the last game, but could easily have turned the other way around if we hadn't gotten there all the way. And I'm looking forward to see what other decks are out in the draft, because hopefully we've dealt with the one super duper aggressive. We'll see you in round 2.